So on the top of page 8, what I would like you to do is I would like you to write in this rule that we just kind of threw out there. Oops. X to the A minus B. Do you know what ASMR is?
I'm just wondering. I do know what it stands for.
Oh, Ian doesn't know. What does it stand for?
It's like some sound that makes you tingle.
Okay. So you don't know what it is either, technically. All right, so number 1, we are dividing x to the 5th and x to the 3rd. What are we gonna have? X to the power of 2, because we're going to take 5 minus 3. Yeah.
You have actual numbers, will you divide the numbers too?
Did we divide the x's? No. So that's a good question. Our base is going to stay the same and our exponent subtract. So she was asking, like, what if this was 2 to the 5th divided by 2 to the 3rd? Then our base stays the same and we subtract our exponents. Okay? We don't divide the bases. Okay? Yep. Okay, number 2. What does number 2 become? K to what power? The 10th. Now, some of you aren't paying attention at all. Some of you are working ahead. Let's find a happy medium.
I'm working.
Some of you are working ahead. And number 3 made you panic a little bit. What happens when we subtract our exponents in this case? What is m to the 0?
M.
Anything to the 0 power equals 1.
I had this on my map.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Would you like to know why? Okay. Let's talk about why. Can somebody tell me what 2 to the 4th power is? What about 2 cubed?
8.
What about 2 squared? What about 2 to the 1st? Okay. So if we follow this pattern down, to get from 2 to the 4th to 2 to the 3rd, what do?
You have it.
We would have to divide by 2, right? To get from 2 to the 3rd to 2 squared, we divide by 2. To get from 2 squared to 2 to the 1st.
I don't know.
Okay. So, hey, what should we do to get to 2 to the 0? And when we divide by 2, we get 1.
I swear. So with the 1, would you add, like, let's say that m was actually 6, would you add the 1 to the 6 to the 7? Or would you do it to 1?
Anything to the 0 power just becomes 1, like the number 1. There's no more variable.
So you would add it, like, let's say it was 7, like m equals 7.
It doesn't matter what m equals. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So m to the 0 equals 1. There's no more m. M is gone. There's nope, it's just 1. It's just 1.
If I were to have 3 to the power, would I go divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3 until I got the 1? Like we did with
Yep.
and then 2.
Mhm.
That's how we use 1 times 0.
We'll even talk about negative exponents tomorrow, and we can continue this pattern. Okay. Okay. You and your elbow partner work on number 4 and 5.
If he's not even in your line of sight when you're watching the board.
No, because like. It's like
Yeah. If you want to go for this.
All right. Are we ready to go over them? Okay. I didn't hear yes, but I didn't hear no. So, Drew, what do you have for number 4? Okay. You can write B to the first, or you can write B. Okay. All right. Number 5, Ian. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about number 7. What happens if we have coefficients? Same thing. We need to take care of our coefficients like we normally would. What is 6 divided by 2? Then we can talk about, okay, well, now I have exponents with the same base. We're dividing so we can subtract.
Just 3x.
Just 3x.
Just 3x.
Just 3x. Okay, so let's go down to this number 10. So 6 divided by 2 gives us the 3. Are you okay with that? And then, okay, let's go to number 10. We're going down to number 10. Okay. Let's look at the negative 15 divided by negative 3. What is that? 5. Then we can look at x to the 6th over x to the 5th. What is that simplified to? X to the 1st. We'll just write x. Then we have y to the 5th over y cubed. Y squared. And then we have the loneliest z, but we still got to incorporate him in our answer. Where's z? Now, I am going to put a line through my z's. You've seen that before. We are going to have z's and 2's in our answers sometimes. I don't want your z's and 2's to look alike. So make sure I can tell the difference between your 6's and b's. Make sure I can tell the difference between your 2's and z's. Now, let's be smart about this one. What's 4 divided by 8? So please don't write 0.5. What I want you to write?
1/2.
1/2. Then if we focus on this guy right here, this becomes n to the 4th. Now what I would probably have you write is n to the 4th over 2. That's gonna help us when we get to tomorrow. Do you know why I did that? Yes. Ellery is on a roll. Long time no see. You missed us? Aw, you're found it for you.
Say doesn't want to take the one. He doesn't want to play. How much?
Okay, hold on. I have a question. Which one?
Actually, no, I was making my own one up because I was asking if, my base ratio. If you guys 12 minus 6. So just add 3 minus 3 would be 0. So you use plus 1.
No, it'd be times 1. Okay, we had a good question over here. Like, don't write this down. She was asking, okay, so what if I had like 10x to the third over 5x to the third? What's 10 divided by 5? 2. And then x cubed divided by x cubed give us x to the 0. What's x to the 0? So this is like 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay.
So the answer is just 2.
The answer would just be 2.
Wait, are we talking about number 12?
We were talking about a made up problem. Okay. Okay, I am going to send you to the whiteboard for these. So 4, 8, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 23. All right, I am going to give you a card. And when you get that card, you're gonna go to a group with probably 2 other people. Hey, are you saying, okay, you do this one, I do this one?
No.
You're working as a group. One person has a marker, the other 2 people are telling them what to do. There are no trading cards. Go to where you're supposed to go, and I want you to work on 13 and 15.
It's not that funny. Yeah, I got it.
So erase what's at the board. Don't worry, I'm not right here.
Sorry. So we're going forward. Sorry. Hey, Lord.
Who's aces? You aces?
Yeah, I'm an ace.
Sure.
I should say. I'm a third. I'm actually like a. Jacob, did you do that on purpose?
So we know that hard.
Oh, no.
CBK.
So we know that it has to
Did you seriously touch this?
I'm touching.
Okay, so it looks like some people have 3x to the 7th, and some people have 1/3 x to the 7th. Some people have 1/9 x to the 7th. Some people have 1/3 x squared. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this guy. We need to do the exponents first before we can do the division. So 3 squared is 9, and then x to the 5th squared gives us x to the 10th. Okay, so now 9 over 27. I know 27 divided by 9 is 3, but when we have 9 over 27, that is giving us 1/3. So you can write it as 1/3 x to the 7th, or you can write it as x to the 7th over 3. Okay. Now, when I look at our number 15, those look a little bit more consistent with what we got for our answers. So our numerator is 12w to the 9th v to the 4th. And in our denominator, when we apply that exponent, 4 squared is 16. We have w squared v squared. So it's pretty consistent around the room that 12 divided by 16 gives us 3/4. Do you have a question?
Yeah, can you want X on top when like the numerator is 1?
You can put the x on top no matter what. So I'll show you. Okay. This becomes w to the 7th and v to the 2nd, right? So I think, I'm not sure what happened to my aces. My aces, we didn't really show our work. And so it's hard for me to give you some advice.
I'm sure. That's not my answer. What's the answer?
Okay. Hey, guess what? It's totally fine to get an answer wrong. Okay.
It's not.
Zayden, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying it's okay if it's wrong. Now, I'm okay with this. It's also okay to put 3w to the 7th v squared over 4 like that. Those mean the same thing. I'm just like helping you get used to the different kinds of notation you can see with these problems, okay? Let's go ahead and turn to the next page. Okay, the more rules we introduce, the more we're gonna have to think about what do we need to do first and then second and then third and then fourth. Okay, so I'll remind you about PEMDAS. Is there anything inside the parentheses we can simplify? Okay, what's 2/4? 1/2. Okay, anything else we can do inside the parentheses? Say it louder, Allison. We can subtract our exponents because we have division. So we have m squared and then what? N to the, just n to the first. I'm gonna put the first just for funsies. Okay, all of that is still being cubed. Okay, help me out. What's 1/2 cubed?
1.1.
Wait, no.
1.8.
1, it's 1.
Yeah, 1.8.
It's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/8. That's how we do. That's not what we do. Multiply numerators, multiply denominators. What is the exponent for m? No, it would be 6. Because we have a power to a power, so we multiply, okay? The more rules we introduce, the more we have to keep these things straight. And then n to the first raised to the third, our exponent is going to be 3. Okay, so okay, we are going to do 2 more problems. Go to number 22. What did I do first?
Parentheses.
So is there anything inside my parentheses I can do?
No.
No. So now let's go to exponents. 10 squared is what? 100. A squared, B squared. Okay, PEMDAS, we didn't have anything inside of our parentheses. We've done our exponents. Now what do we do? Okay, in our numerator, we can multiply. What's 100 times 2? Oh man, that was real tough. Okay. Zayden, what is the exponent for A when we multiply these together? So we're multiplying. What do we do with our exponents when we multiply? So what is it gonna be? 6. You're not the only one who was thinking 8, Zayden. You just happen to be the one who said it out loud because I asked you. Okay, redemption, Zayden. What about B? Yeah, we add those together. Okay, now let's go ahead and perform the division. What's 200 divided by 4? 50. A to the 6th over A to the 5th. It's going to give us A. B to the 5th over B. It's going to give us B to the 4th. Take it one at a time. What I think some of people's problem is you want to just rush through some of these problems and not use your brain to process through what do I need to do first, what do I need to do second, and what rule do I need to be using? Stop. Like seriously.
Me?
Okay, last problem we're gonna do, number 25. Okay, we have subtraction. That's the very last thing we're gonna worry about. Let's worry about the multiplication and division so that we can do the subtraction. If we're gonna be able to do the subtraction, what variables am I hoping to get right here? C and D with what powers? These same ones, okay? So in our numerator, what's 8 times negative 3? Negative 24. C times C to the 4th gives us C to the 5th. And then we have our D cubed. No way, guys. No way. But we still have, oh shoot, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Okay, so we get negative 8 C cubed D squared minus 9C cubed D squared. How did I get negative 8? That's not a thing. Yeah, duh. Hey, what do you think your homework is?
Next page.
The next page, page 10. Right? Page 10.